concept, hide net. One moment. Yeah. Hide net, static net, destination net, most important U-turn net, right? I have seen many candidates in the interview when I'm being like whenever I conduct the interviews, I have seen many candidates get fumble in the U-turn net. Why they need U-turn net? They don't know. They know the terminology, but they don't know why we need it, in which scenario it is being configured. So this sort of information we will be covering in our NAT section. Then the cluster part, how we can achieve the high availability, and there are certain methods, maybe this load sharing, multicast, unicast, right? Or maybe cluster Excel. These terminology you won't be able to understand right now, but believe me, when we will discuss in the class, these topics will become very easy for you, and I'll make sure that it is becoming very easy for you to understand and to implement. Okay, we'll cover Ldap authentication, right? And we'll discuss about the firewall monitors, SAM rule, troubleshooting of the day-to-day problems. Like if someone is saying in your organization that my connection from one source to another source is not working, how to troubleshoot that, right? So we'll check that here in the troubleshooting. I have used this particular term troubleshooting much, like many times in this particular section, like 1, 2 or 3, right? You can see many troubleshooting term is being used, because we will be focusing this particular course as per the industry standard. Whatever the work will be doing in the industry, will be discussing those things in this particular course. Okay. Checkpoint basic troubleshooting command, most important thing. If you are a CCSA administrator or CCSE a checkpoint expert, I would say you should be handy with the basic command line of the checkpoint, because if I talk about the GUI, it's good for the logging and the configuration and everything. But when I talk about the troubleshooting, the core level troubleshooting, there you need to understand what is the basic troubleshooting commands, right? And see, commands you can find on the Google also, right? If you type how to check HA status in checkpoint, you can get the command. But what information you should look forward in that particular output of that command, those things we'll discuss in this particular course. We'll discuss the backup part, what sort of backups are there, and in which scenario we will take the backup. We'll discuss the firewall client-based authentication, user-based authentication, creating policy and flow of the policy, how the policy will be created and what is the flow, how the policy will be installed on the gateway. Most important, I would say my favorite topic, which is site-to-site VPN configuration, where we will discuss what sort of modes are there, how many phases are there, how to check which phase is up and which phase is down, how to troubleshoot, how to configure, what sort of parameters will be checking, what all the parameters will be exchanging between the peers, what is the mandatory things to look forward before going for the configuration. These things will check on the site-to-site VPN configuration, right? Host entry in the checkpoint firewall, different daemons of the checkpoint firewall. See, you might have heard, I'm not sure if you have basic understanding of the checkpoint or not. If not, let me give you. Checkpoint has adaptive. If we'll discuss, like in next class, we'll discuss the history of checkpoint, right? In the history, we'll discuss in 2012, Checkpoint has integrated its Linux version, and they have created their Gaia. Gaia means their operating system. Okay. GAIA. Gaia, their operating system. They have developed this Gaia operating system in Red Hat. Okay. And after doing this configuration part, it's the most stable operating system we have of the checkpoint, which is called Gaia. So in Linux, we do all the operations, almost all the operation with the help of daemons, right? So similarly, we have multiple daemons which are responsible for the operations we perform in the checkpoint, whether it's a policy installation, whether it's a logging, whether it's a licensing, everything depends upon the daemons, right? And apart from that, we'll check some acceleration topics like secure Excel, cluster Excel, core Excel. And now these terminologies will not be very comfort you guys will not be able to become very comfortable in this particular terminologies, because these are the terms which is being used when we will be accelerating our kernel level things. Like in checkpoint, you can do some tweaks or with your firewall through which there will be some acceleration, some modification in the kernel level functioning. Those things we're going to discuss in this particular session, right? Kernel level understanding, how many kernels are there and how they distribute the load of the firewall between them, and which kernel will be doing which part, which kernel will be doing which part. These all information will be discussing in this particular course. Apart from this, like HTTP inspection, URL filtering, content awareness, LDAP integration, these things also will be discussing in this particular course. So this was the brief introduction, like what sort of course we are come up with and what sort of information we will be discussing in this particular course. Okay, and believe me, this is not all the topics I have listed. These are the main topics I have listed. There are much more topics which will be discussing inside the course. You will see that how you enrolled in this course, and that time you had zero understanding, and over the time when this course will be finished, you'll see that you have easily covered your path and you are already on the 100th level. And that's the maximum we are targeting with this particular course. All right, so basically this was the course content. So now let me go to another slide, that for this course what you need. All right, you came here, you are interested in learning checkpoint, but what sort of information, what sort of skill set you need to get 100% from this course? First thing, basic knowledge of CCNA or more than that. If you do not have the more than CCNA, then it's fine. But basic understanding of CCNA you should have. For an example, IPv4, right? We're gonna discuss a lot of IP4 detailing in this course. So I will not be going in detail of what is IPv4, what is class this, what is classful. These sort of information will not be discussing. Okay, but you should know this information so that you will be able to understand. If I'll mention that my source IP is 10.10.10.1, so you will be able to understand this belongs to class A, and what sort of subnet mask if I'll write that I'm using /24. So with this you will be able to understand what this /24 means. Okay, and basic understanding, I'm not saying that you should be a master, but basic understanding of virtual environment, maybe VMware or more. Basic understanding, rest will help you to create your lab over there. Okay, and if these are the skills which you should have before joining this class. If don't worry, if you do not have the basic understanding of VMware or virtual environment, it's only a matter of 1 hour. You can refer any video available on the YouTube, and it will be more than enough. Okay, not even the 1 hour matter. It's a matter of 1 hour. It's only matter of maybe 30 minutes, not more than that. But 1 hour is the maximum time, I would say. Another thing, software. Okay, see, any virtual platform where you will be deploying your checkpoint software, checkpoint ISO file you should be having. Okay, and this checkpoint ISO file you can download from the checkpoint firewall website. checkpoint.com, right? And you will get a 15 days evaluation time. Okay, you can download it, you can integrate that software in your VMware, and you are ready to go to perform all the operations which we will be discussing in this particular course. And you will get 15 days 15 days of trial. If that 15 days is over, you need to just uninstall this current iOS, and you have to just install it again. You will get again 15 days of trial. Okay, so this is how you can practice more and more. So with this, you will be getting practice with implementation, like how the checkpoint firewall get implemented in your in any environment, and also the operational things we'll be discussing in our session. Okay, so you'll be getting both the information over the time. Okay, then if I talk about lot of people ask me that why checkpoint.